Today we are going to learn lesson number 5, that is temperature. And in our previous session we have completed this lesson's half part, okay? And today we are going to cover the remaining part, okay? So now we have studied about the important parallels and meridians in our previous session. Then we studied about the earth shape and the distribution of sun rays in particular region. Then we studied about how based on the distribution of temperature, the earth is divided into torrid, temperate and frigid zones. Okay, we studied in detail about the thermal zones. Okay, how these thermal zones are formed on earth's surface. Okay, so now later we studied about the factors which are responsible and who influence the distribution of temperature, and also we studied the factors that lead to the diversity in the climate of different regions. Okay, children, now today we are going to learn the remaining part. So now, children, before starting this, we are going to study this experiment. Okay, this one experiment we are going to study. So now what is there in that experiment? Let's see. This experiment is about a difference in the heating and cooling of land and water. So for this, what we are going to do, we are going to take two pots of the same size. See here, that girl and boy, they are holding what? They are holding pots of same size, and they are going to fill the water equally. So same amount of water is filled in figure A as well as in figure B. In that pots, same amount of water is filled. So what we are going to do, at sunrise, we are going to keep one of the pots inside the house and other pot outside the house. Okay, children. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to see that it remains in the sun. Okay, we are going to see that the figure B, in that figure B, that pot remains in the sun all the time. Okay, throughout the day, that we are going to keep the vessel, that pot, outside the house. Okay, so now we are going to observe. Okay, we are going to observe what are the changes, okay, experienced throughout the day. Okay, in that in those two pots. Okay, children, now what happens here is, we are going to see that, here what happens, water which is inside, okay, the water inside the house, that pot which was inside the house, what happens, its temperature will be cold. Okay, its temperature was what? It was cold. Okay, it was according to the room temperature. Whereas the pot which was kept outside, what happens here, it cooled, it received heat from the sun. Yes, so its temperature will what? Its temperature will increase, right? So here what happens, here we observe that the pot which was inside the house, the water was cooled. Okay, whereas the pot which was outside the house, it was hot. Okay, the water in that pot, it was hot. Okay, now children, you must have seen that. Okay, you must have experienced this in your day-to-day life. Okay, when you walk barefoot on the floor inside the house, okay, you can see that mostly in the afternoon. Okay, when you are walking barefoot inside your house, what happens, you will feel the temperature. Okay, you will feel the temperature is cold. The tiles are what? They are cold. Okay, you will experience the normal temperature of the tiles. Okay, they are not hot. But once you move outside, okay, and if you walk barefoot outside the house, what will happen, you will feel hotness. Okay, you will feel what? You will feel hotness. Okay, the land is hot outside. Okay, and whereas the tiles in the house, they were cold. Okay, so what happens, in the afternoon we have done this, right? In the afternoon we have done this. In the evening, what happens, children? What will happen in the evening? Okay, outside, slowly the temperature of the land, what will happen, it will start cooling, but still there will be a difference in the temperature of the house and that of the outside. Okay, so now children, what happens here is, The land cools down earlier than the water. Okay, see children, what happens? The land, we have studied, we have understood from this that the land cools down earlier than the water. Okay, the water kept outside the sun is still a little warm. Okay, children, see what happens here from these activities. See, when you walk outside in the afternoon, like I told you, what happened? You experienced what? You experienced hotness near your legs. Okay, and even what happened? The water kept outside in the sun is what? It was warm. Okay, but in the evening later, what you experience that the land cooled down, right? It slowly, like I told you, it cooled down. Okay, but what happened when you holded that water? Okay, if you will hold that water, what will happen? You will observe that the water kept outside in the sun is still a little warm. So due to this difference in the heating and cooling of land and water, the air over the land gets heated faster and also becomes cooler rapidly. See what happens? The air which is outside, okay, over the land, outside the house, what happens? Gets heated faster. Okay, because I have told you, as we know, we receive heat from the sun, right? So because of that, what happens? The air in the atmosphere, it gets what? It gets heated up faster. Okay, and what happens? The land, the surface of the earth, what happens? It also get heated faster, and what happens? Also becomes, it becomes cooler rapidly also. Okay, so it quickly gets heated and becomes cooler rapidly. Quickly it gets cool also. Okay, so the air over the water, but what happens? The air over the water gets heated slowly. Slowly, what will happen? The water starts getting heated slowly and also loses the heat in slower manner. See children, what happens? The water which was kept outside the house, what happens? It slowly gets heated. Okay, and it also slowly loses the heat. Okay, so it is not a quick process like in case of land. What happened in case of land? The air over the land, it's get heated faster and becomes cooler, but the water which was kept outside, what happened? It slowly got heated and it slowly got cold. Okay, so in this manner, this is how the heating and cooling process is taken place. Now children, we are going to see, okay, see what happens. We are going to consider, we are going to do the comparison between the coastal areas and the continental areas. Okay, so in continental areas, what happens? Sorry, in the coastal areas, what happens? See, the coastal areas are what? Who are near to the seas, oceans and all. Okay, so these coastal areas, what happens? The temperature of air is lower during the day, but it gets warmer at the night. See children, what happens? The temperature of air is lower throughout the day. The temperature is lower during the day, but in the night, what happens? It gets warmer. Okay, whereas in continental areas, what happens? The temperature of air in the continental areas is higher during the daytime. So throughout the daytime, the temperature of air in the continental area is what? It is higher. And once in the night, you will experience what? You are going to experience lower. Okay, the temperature starts cooling. Okay, yes. So if you are if your relatives or anyone who lives in, like in Vidarbha region or Nagpur or any in other places, okay, what happens in the continental areas? You must have experienced that during the daytime the temperature is higher, but once in the night you will experience lower temperature. The temperature is lower and you will experience what? Cold, not cold, but normal temperature you will experience. It won't be higher as compared to the daytime. But here what happens in coastal areas, during the daytime you are going to experience normal lower temperature, but at night it gets warmer. Okay, now next point is what? Because of the heating of the sea water, right? Because of the heating of the sea water, what happens? Water vapor gets mixed in the air. Okay, so the water vapor which is present in the atmosphere, what happens? It gets mixed with the air. Okay children, So now what happens? This leads to the humidity in the air, right? So the heating, because of the heating of seawater, slowly it starts getting heated. The water, the seawater starts slowly, it receives heat. Okay, it starts getting heated slowly. And because of that, the vapor which is present in it gets mixed in the air. Okay. Now what happens in continental areas, children? As we that water vapor is not present, it is absent in those regions. Okay, water vapor is absent in those regions, so the air in those regions remains dry. Okay, the air in those regions remains dry. Okay, children, there is not humidity, right? Now what happens next here in coastal regions? See, children, as we know, water gets mixed in the air, right? This water vapor holds the heat in the air. Okay, what happens? This water vapor, it is going to hold the heat in the air. Okay, in the atmosphere, it is going to hold the heat. Okay, and because of this, what happens? The air in the coastal areas remain moist and warm. Okay, we are going to experience what? We are going to experience what? In the people living in the coastal areas, they are going to experience the moist and warm air in that region. Whereas in continental areas, what happens, children? As water vapor is absent, the air remains dry in that region. And this leads to the sharp differences in the day and night temperatures. See what happens? During the daytime, the temperature is higher. Okay, and in night time it gets lower and lower. Okay, so what happens? And as water vapor is not present, it is absent, so because of that, the air remains dry. So what happens because of this, children? There is a sharp differences observed in the day and night temperature. So the day temperature will be high and night temperature will be cold. So we are going to experience a sharp, okay, we are going to experience what? Sharp changes. Okay, sharp differences in the temperature differences in the day and night. Now moving ahead, children, the differences in the maximum and minimum temperatures of day is called diurnal range of temperature. What it is called, children? The differences in the maximum and minimum temperatures of day is called what? Diurnal range of temperature. Diurnal, because what we are considering only one day. Okay, only a day is considered. Okay, we are not considering 2-3 days. Okay, we are not considering a week. Okay, we are considering a difference in the maximum and minimum temperature of one day. That is called as diurnal range of temperature. Okay, in short, children, the difference in the day and night temperatures is less in the coastal areas and more in the continental areas. See what they are telling us? The difference we are in the day and night temperature is going to be less. See, such difference of temperature, that what happened in the continental areas, we observed that during the daytime, what happens, the temperature was very high, but in night it started getting cooler. Okay, so there was completely we have seen a difference. Okay, we have observed the maximum and we have observed the minimum temperature. Okay, so what happens here? We will observe such differences in the continental areas will be what? The differences will be more. Okay, but what happens in the coastal areas, children? The difference in the daytime and nighttime will be less. Okay, the climate in that region, okay, that will be normal. Okay, there won't be such maximum and minimum temperature won't be seen. Okay, so what happens? Coastal areas have an equable climate. Okay, equable means they are going to observe equal amount of temperature throughout the day and night. Okay, children. So coastal areas have an equable climate, whereas continental areas, the climate will be what? Extreme in those regions. Okay, because there is what we have observed, the difference in the maximum and minimum temperatures of day and night, okay, was more in the continental areas. So that is why the climate is there in that region is extreme. Okay, see, I'll tell you in case of Nagpur what happened. The temperature, the maximum temperature during the summer season goes up to 48 and 49 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine, okay, how much even the air in that region is dry. So you can imagine the intensity, okay, of that region, okay, how much intense climate and extreme climate is there observed. And in case of, and in winter season, the coldness, okay, even that is also extreme. Okay, children, those regions, they receive 5 degrees and 8 degrees temperature during the winter season. So you can observe that the maximum and minimum temperature, they are what? They are extreme. The climate is extreme in that region. But what happens in case of coastal areas? See, what happens? The climate in that region is equable. Okay, that is equal throughout the seasons. Okay, so see, the climate of Mumbai is what? It is equable, whereas in the continental locations like Nagpur, it is extreme. Okay, see, Mumbai temperatures are even, but at Nagpur they vary a lot. Okay, we observe, vary means what? We observe difference in the temperatures. Okay, so see, in the coastal regions such as Konkan, the range of temperature is less. Okay, so if we observe the range of temperature in the Konkan region, if we compare it with Vidarbha region, okay, Vidarbha region, if we compare it, the range of temperature is found to be higher in Vidarbha region, and in Konkan region, the temperature is less. Okay, so if we are comparing a coastal region such as Konkan and a continental region such as Vidarbha, what happens in Konkan? The range of temperature is less, whereas the range of temperature is found to be higher in the Vidarbha region. Okay, so because of that, what happens, children? See, because of that, the coastal areas have an equable climate, whereas in the continental areas, the climate is extreme. Okay, so the difference in the mean temperatures of summer and winter is called annual range of temperature. See here what we have considered, the difference in the mean temperature of summer and winter. So throughout the summer season and throughout the winter season, okay, the differences in their mean temperatures, okay, that is called as what? Annual range of temperature. Whereas when we considered the difference in the maximum and minimum temperatures of a single day, that is called as diurnal range of temperature. Okay, children, so now moving ahead, we are going to see another activity. Okay, we are going to observe another activity now, children. Here in this here what we have taken, we have kept a pot. Okay, pot, or a this is a pot. You can take a vessel also. Okay, so a pot with water. Okay, we have placed water in it. Okay, on a burner we have kept it on a gas. Okay, on a burner. And what we are going to do, we are going to draw 4 to 5 small plastic buttons in it. Okay, we are going to put 4 to 5 small plastic buttons in that water, and then later we are going to observe the movement of the water once it starts receiving heat. Okay, children, first see, when we poured water in that vessel, the temperature of the water was according to the normal room temperature. But once we kept it on the burner, it slowly it will start receiving heat. Okay, it gets hot slowly. So now what is the movement, how the water how the changes takes place in the water, what are its movements, we are going to study now. See, children, water expands on heating. Okay, children, water expands on heating. So what happens, the hot water from the base, see children, slowly what happens, see, here this is the burner, here this is the gas. Okay, so here from here it is receiving heat. So water which is at this lower portion, okay, it is going, the water which is at the bottom, okay, it is going to what, it is slowly it is going to receive heat, right? Yes, so the hot water from the base, it moves upwards. What will happen? It will move upwards. Okay, now see what I am telling you here. This hot water which was situated, which was at the base of that vessel, it first receives heat and later it moves upwards. Okay, it starts moving upward. Okay, and with the buttons, with it the buttons too are pushed to the surface. See children, we have seen the buttons, we have kept the buttons in it, right? So what happens here, that water, as we know, water expands on heating, so water from the base, it moves upwards, and with it the buttons are also pushed to the surface. Okay, now see, the relatively cooler water in the upper portion moves downwards. See children, what happens here? See children, here I'll show you in the picture. Yes, as we know, we have seen the water which was at the base, it moved upward. Okay, it started receiving heat, so it became hot and it moved upward. But the upper portion of this, the upper layers of water, it has not received heat right now. Yes, so its temperature is normal, its temperature is according to the room temperature. So what happens, the relatively cooler water in the upper portion, it starts moving down. Okay, it starts moving down. Okay children, downwards. Okay, taking the buttons with it. So what will happen here? Here the buttons with in the lower portion, the buttons went upwards, and from here the relatively cooler water, it went downwards with the buttons also. Okay, now this happens repeatedly. Okay, this process of moving upward and downward, moving upward and moving downward is taking place repeatedly. So what happens here? Okay, on heating, an upward current sets in the water. So see children, what happens when the water started receiving heat? So on heating, an upward current sets in the water. See, this upward current was set in the water. Okay. Now here children, but in nature the conditions are what? The conditions are slightly different. Okay, they are whatever things which are happening near this in the sea water and all, so something they are the conditions are slightly different. Okay, now what are they? We will study. Due to the temperature differences, both upward and horizontal currents develop in the ocean. See children, what is happening? Due to the temperature differences, we know very well there are temperature differences. Okay, temperature is not equal in all parts of the earth's surface. So because of the temperature differences, both upward and horizontal currents develop in the ocean. Means upward means like this, both upward and horizontal. Okay, currents develop in the ocean. Okay, so besides this, temperature differences, factors like winds and differences in the density of water, they also give rise to the horizontal currents. Okay children, what happens? See, besides the temperature difference, okay, besides the temperature difference, factors such as winds also. See, we know very well winds, how they are formed. They are the difference, they are what, when the air starts moving from higher pressure to a lower pressure. Okay, lower pressure areas, it gives rise to the formation of winds. Okay, so the factors such as winds also, and differences in the density of water, the compactness of the water, also give rise to the formation of horizontal currents. So these currents, children, see what happens now. These currents, These currents flow from the equator to the polar region and from polar region to the equator. See what I was saying, these upward currents and horizontal currents, they actually, these ocean currents, okay, they flow from the equator to the polar region and from polar region to the equator. Now see, I'll show you this on the in the figure. Okay, now see, this is our world map, children. Okay, there are different ocean currents. Okay, there are different ocean currents seen over here. See, there are these warm currents. I've zoomed for you. The pink one, they are the warm currents, and whereas these blue ones, they are what? They are the cold ocean currents. Okay, they are what? They are the cold ocean currents, children. So now see what happens here is, see what we were telling, I told you these ocean currents, okay, they flow from the equator to the north pole, pole, and from the equator to the, and from here, see children, these ocean currents, they flow from the equator to the polar region and from the polar regions, from the north pole to the south, and from the south pole again they move towards the equator. Okay children, see here. See, you can see here how they are moving. This is the world map and how they are moving from the equator, they are moving towards the, from the equator they are moving towards the polar regions. Okay, and again from polar regions they are moving towards the equator. So this process takes place. Okay, now moving ahead, when an ocean current flows from the frigid to the torrid zone. Now see children, we studied what, from the equator, the ocean currents, they move towards the polar regions. Okay, polar regions means from torrid zone towards the frigid zones, right? Okay, and again from polar regions towards equator means what, from the frigid towards the torrid zones. So when the ocean currents flows from the frigid to the torrid zone, it reduces the temperature of the coast in the torrid zone. What happens? See what they do. These ocean currents, when they move from the frigid towards the torrid zone, it reduces the temperature of the coast. Why? Because see, frigid zone, that the region in the climate, the temperature of that region is cold. When the currents are flowing from frigid to torrid, it reduces the temperature of the coast in the torrid zone. The temperature of the coast, it is reduces, it gets lower, okay, in the torrid zone. Okay children, and when the current flows from the torrid to frigid, so from the equator towards the poles, okay, towards the north pole and south pole, it increases the temperature of the coast in the frigid zone. So what it does, it actually increases the temperature of the coast. Why? Because torrid zone's temperature is hot and dry, frigid zone's temperature is cold. So when these ocean currents are traveling from torrid to frigid, what happens? They increases the temperature of the coasts in the frigid zone. Okay children, so here today we have completed this much portion. In the next session we are going to complete the remaining part. Okay.